Hello everyone, hello my friends. I haven't done a video in a very long time, it feels like, because it has been a long time, so I thought I'd go ahead and do a video and show you guys what I've been working in as far as my planner goes. Okay, so you guys are probably like, okay, I thought your planner was silver, and it was. And this is the planner I had been working out of for quite some time. You know Gem. Gem is my wallet and kind of on the go everyday carry to do planner. You guys have seen her. There are plenty of videos. Well, I think there's at least one videos of, what's in here, how I've been using her, and, just her interworkings. Now, the one thing that has changed is she did have my inbox in here and my whole GTD system in here, but she doesn't any longer, and I'll show you what I've done as far as that goes. So this is Courtney. Courtney has been working with me for a while now, since September, and I have thoroughly enjoyed her. I don't remember what kind of planner she is, but it has something to do with M, which is why I got it, because you guys know me as the meticulous mommy, and I felt like that was just totally appropriate. But she just has this favorite little book of mine. You guys have seen this before, except this part broke. The clasp broke through the plastic, and I just decided I can put a purple rubber band on here, have it go in, and it still is functional. It still works. But yeah, it works just fine, and I use it for keeping track of new people that come into my congregation. But anyway, so this is Courtney. She is, as you can see, stuffed to capacity. I have been watching a lot of Carrie's videos, a lot of Carolyn, XO Carolyn plans. She's amazing, and you guys should check her out. But I feel like I've made a combination of both Carolyn and Carrie's planners together that fits my own life. So also, I'm going to just say this from the very beginning. I am a single mother with 3 kids, so I cannot afford to buy everything that I see in paper planner world. So a lot of what you're going to see is either a look-alike or something very similar to that, because I don't buy, I recreate. I can't afford to do that. If you can create it, I feel that you should be able to just make it if you're not planning on selling it to somebody. So this is all my own personal use. I don't sell it. I don't plan to. I don't even know if I'm going to reopen my Etsy shop at any point. So these are just sticky notes. These are transparent sticky notes. They're like tracing paper, but they're sticky notes. And I really like them because I can use them in so many different ways. And then I just have some other sticky notes here. This I saw in XO Carolyn Plans, and I love it because I am currently studying Korean, and I see a lot of Korean inspired art in Carolyn's planner, and I really love that. She is a K-pop fan as well. I am too. Not enough to put, various members of K-pop groups that I like in my planner, but good enough. But the bottom line is I'm learning Korean. 만나서 반갑습니다. So, just FYI, you're going to see a lot of various Korean stuff in here. Anyway, so, of course, I have my babies here. My babies. And above each of them, I don't know if you can see that, but it says Made with Love. Because they are, and they're my loving babies, and I just love them so much. So let me zoom in just a bit so I don't have to lift. But she's stuffed to capacity, and I quite enjoy her that way. So I forget where a lot of this Carolyn said came from, but if I do remember, I'll put it in the description below. And, you know, you guys can check them out if you see fit. So I've got my deco all up in front. I've got this laminated glitter that I did first. I don't know if you can see that. But then I also have the awesome acetate that comes from Michaels, and just some stickers and some deco on there. And this is my name in Korean, Danina. And, you know, I just have my wonderful stuff. Of course, gotta worship God there. It's the first thing I see when I look in the planner. It's his name, my babies, my favorite things, home, peach milk. Oh, I would love to try peach uyu. But all I need to do is go to my Korean store. I keep forgetting to go. But anyway, rice is absolutely life, which is why this is here, because I love rice. My mother can actually vouch for that. Like, I've always loved rice with every meal, just plain white rice, or plain multigrain rice. I have a recipe here for traditional kimchi, because I actually have a giant vat of kimchi in my fridge at all times because I love kimchi. And I make it myself. So it's really easy, and I wanted to, you know, just keep the traditional recipe in here because I love it. And then on top of that, I have Sweet Tea Plans. I believe that's who made this. But I remade my own because I like it to fit my own personality. And then I forget where these bows come from. I mean, they're like virtually everywhere now, but there's somebody specific who makes them. Like I said, I'll link it down below if I can. And this is just chunky glitter. Love the chunky glitter. Actually, I plan on making more of this. I just ran out of laminate sheets. This came with this planner. I really like it too because it's got that whole celestial vibe, you know, good vibes in general. And this is, you know, just a kind of a collage of various things that I like, sweet treats. And you guys know I love my coffee, so that's there too. And this is my first section, my brain sifter section, which is technically, as most people call it, a brain dump section. Whoops, got a little messed up there. But this is my brain dump section where I can put sticky notes and various other things. And as you can see, it does mimic the Annie Plans printables. So that's where that came from. It mimics it. It's not the exact same. I didn't buy it. I just remade it, and it works just fine for me. So I made a pen loop out of some really chunky glitter washi. I think I got that from Walmart, or I might have gotten it from Michaels. But anyway, up here it just says my planner, plan on it. And then these are other sticky notes that are also see-through. The interesting thing about these is it's a different texture, which is why I'm having such a hard time gripping it. But these came from Office Depot, and they're a little bit more translucent than those other ones that were up front here. These I got from Daiso, but these came from Office Depot, and they're actually slightly better quality. If I tried to rip this, it would be really difficult because it's almost a plastic kind of quality paper. And so this is just my, well, pretty much water pen. I use it to mark my water, and I'll show you that soon. But anyway, so this is another kind of just a place to write things and thoughts and sticky notes and stuff. You put a lot of lists here, and this is just more uber chunky glitter is what I call this, because it's way chunkier than this kind of glitter. So, but yeah, I got this from Michaels as well. It's in the glitter section, and I laminated it. But then here is my list section. The same thing, kind of mimics the Annie Plan printable ones, the cover sheet anyway. And it just has a whole bunch of assorted lists that look a lot like a lot of the lists from Annie Plan printables that I just kind of remade myself. Don't hate me. If you hate me, I'm so sorry. But I'm also not sorry because, like I said, single mom, can't afford it. I'll buy what I can, but otherwise I'm going to make it myself if I can. And this is just a mirror sheet that piece of paper that I got from Michaels, and I just glued it to another sheet with the same thing. This actually I would have loved to buy. I would love to have bought, but I don't think you can buy them anymore. It was when the hurricanes were happening here in Texas, and you know, there was a lot of stuff going on. But I thought it was really cool because I live in Texas and I wanted something to kind of memorialize that in a way. And so that's what that is. And I have another one of these. I have a lot of these. I can know myself. I just reprinted like a whole bunch of them and they're everywhere, as you can see. So this is just a Bible die cut that I made. And, you know, there's just various little bits everywhere. These are stickers that I think I got from Walmart. But it says, always be joyful. And, you know, just various scriptures and stuff like that. So, and this is just a magnetic clip. And so this is actually the start of my inbox section. Like I said, it was a part of this, my wallet planner, but I took it out because I didn't want to have my entire inbox so tiny. It was very frustrating to try to, you know, keep track of every single little thing that was going on in my life that I needed to kind of get to and put it in this teeny little book. And this is the, you know, this is, I think this is personal size. It's not personal size. I think it's wallet size. No, it's not. It's not wallet size. It might be personal. I don't remember. I'll let you guys know. But this is A5 size, so I like the A5 size of it. You know, my inbox, it really works better for me. And, you know, I can just write out in detail what I'm doing. So this is the actual list for inbox, and I can expand, as you see. And it's pretty much exactly what was in this one, but I just rewrote it because I like my handwriting and I like seeing things done in my own handwriting. So my first section after that is, of course, next action. If you follow the David Allen method. Is it David Allen or Dave Ramsey? I don't remember which, but it's one or the other that does the GTD system. Again, if somebody knows which one it is, please put it in the comments below for everybody else. But I have my next action section where I just take everything that's a next action and not an open project, not something that's going into waiting for or my someday maybe list. It goes here, and then I can break it down into maybe 1 or 2 steps that I can do within about 30 minutes to an hour. If it takes longer than that, or it has way more steps, then I could put, say, like 5 steps is the limit here. And if it doesn't, then it goes into a totally different area. But not necessarily the waiting for section. So the waiting for section is here. I'm sorry, it's getting all blurry. But this is my waiting for section. If I do something in my next action list and I have to wait for somebody, some company or something to do something to it, then it goes here. And then, you know, I can mark it off completely when it's done. And then there's my someday maybe list. There's one thing, which is actually a party that I was going to have with some of my sisters, but I can't do that because of the pandemic. So it's in my someday maybe list. It might happen. Delegated. I don't delegate much to anybody because I really don't have anybody to delegate anything to except maybe my sister or my mom. But, you know, it's there if I need it. So then I have a tracker page that I created so that I can keep up with the stuff that is in this inbox. Because if I do anything that has to do with this inbox section, then I mark it here. As you can see, I have not been doing much, but I did start this in October. So, I mean, I've done more things since before October, but this is when I decided I was going to start doing it again because I realized I was not keeping up with it in here. I didn't want to go in and look at my little itty bitty lists and try to do it here. Some things I don't mind being in a small package, but other things I do mind. So that is that section. There's my reference section. Love this section because I can't wait to actually start using it. If it's something that I do want to eventually reference, but it's not something that's actionable, it goes here. It's not something that I can do or deal with, but I do want to come to it eventually. That's what's here. Okay, so this is just a puffy sticker I got from Dollar Tree. This is awesome quote from one of the K-dramas I watch. It's called What is Love? Or actually, in what it says in Korean is love, what is it? And I really like this quote. It came from, you know, a really valid source, and I mean, you can read it if you want, but, you know, it's just a really nice quote I liked. And there's some more of my chunky glitter laminate. And I loved this, too. I got this online, and I printed it on vellum. And I enjoyed it so much because it's Alice in Wonderland, and it spoke to me because of the black and pink. Another one of my favorite K-pop groups, Blackpink. But this is just another pen that I have. And it is, you know, a Pentel pen, but it's awesome glitter Pentel pen. I really, really am loving the glitter pens that they have. And they work so well. Now with this, I had so much fun. I drew this, and it was really fun to draw because I drew these little boba teas, and they were just so cute because I love boba tea. Boba tea does really keep the reality away. Hashtag boba life. And so, okay, the next thing that I have is my open projects. Excuse me, you guys. I need something to drink. Okay, I'm sorry. So, my open projects is another list. If you guys haven't seen this already, I'm sure you have seen it. I've put it on my channel before. It was in a different planner, though. I have the whole system for getting things done here, but I added on to the open project section so that I could kind of figure out how I'm going to map out my open projects. And then I created these project sort of, they weren't exactly spreads. It was just something that I came up with and printed out I get like a whole bunch of times so that I could just reuse the same method. And it actually worked out well. But then I realized that there were certain projects that I didn't necessarily need to have this giant spread for. So I made it so that I have these other these other like Aniplan printable note sheets to also use. And as you can see, I've been using them for various projects. Smaller projects go on there too, and then I have more sheets for big projects. Then we have more laminated glitter, and this is my next section. This is my me section. I think this was Shine and Sticker Studio, which I don't feel guilty for really making this because it was a collab, but I've bought things from Shine and Sticker Studio. I've bought some of their stickers before, and I really like the stickers, and I like the whole design and stuff, so I feel a little bit better about that. At least I've bought from them before, and I don't have to feel like, you know, kind of mean and taking from them. But anyway, so here's a picture of me, and you know, I like this. This is so pretty because I'm a Cali girl by nature, well, by actually birth. So that's a D for my name. And this is actually one of my brothers and sisters gave me a bag that had this. This was what the bag was made of, and I just laminated it, and I was like, that is so perfect for my planner. And so this is upside down, I just realized. It doesn't matter. Put it right back. So another thing that I loved about Carolyn Plans is she has a mental health section, and I think that's important for me because I have to do things for myself to make myself happy because, I mean, I love my children and they're awesome, but having 3 kids with autism definitely takes a toll on my mental health, and I need ways to feel better. So this is kind of like my focus to kind of breathe sometimes and stop and take a mental break from what I deal with. And so I have a mood tracker. I had a mood tracker before this. It was in this Kikki.K that I have, and I'm using this one now specifically for being my 7-year calendar. Well, 7-year journal, really. It's a 7-year journal where I'm just kind of keeping track of every day for the next 7 years. And I really like it. It's really fun. The idea of it is really cool to me. So I'm going to keep doing that. But I was also trying to keep track of other things in here, which was not helping me at all. Because, okay, well, I did start keeping track of my dreams, which was kind of weird. My dreams are so weird. But anyway, so I was keeping track of my dreams, but I was also trying to keep track of my mood, which it's here. As you can see, it started last October. So it's been about a year that I've been keeping track of my mood, and it actually has helped quite a bit, because a lot of times I can see where my mood was contracted from, like what if it had something to do with something that I ate, or if it was because this is my cycle, or if it was because of, as you can see, I ate really bad for the past year up until recently in late August, early September. That's when I started really watching my diet and actually taking care of myself, and I've actually lost 40 pounds, and I'm on my way from actually being what most would consider to be obese. So I've been keeping track. I had been keeping track of, sorry for hitting the camera, y'all. I've been keeping track of exercise and stuff too. Like I said, I didn't start until late August. I did try earlier than that, obviously, but to no avail. And then I finally got myself mentally prepared and really mentally disciplined myself to continue doing my diet. And then I stopped keeping track of my exercise, because then I stopped exercising because I hate exercise so much. But my point is that I was keeping track of my health, my mental health, my anxiety. A lot of that was due to eating badly and making poor health decisions. And then I was also keeping track of depression. Again, same thing. You see all of these X's and stuff. I stopped keeping track because I was just in the worst and poorest moods, poorest depression. It's January, February, March, the pandemic hit, and I was just like, oh my gosh, there's too much going on. I felt sad and hopeless, and then my sleep was affected by that. I started sleeping more, and then I started sleeping way less, and then when I started taking care of myself a little bit better, my sleep got more even. And yeah, so my point is that I liked being able to keep track of my mood, but I don't want to do that in here anymore, because as you can see, I'm not even done putting the paper in here, and I'm having trouble. I didn't put all of December. I put 1 page in December because I don't have any room. I mean, the rings are just, they're barely hanging on it as it is, and I can't close this very well, as you can see. So that's my point. So I needed to keep that in here, and so that's what I did, and it's working out really nicely. I cannot wait to continue this. I really love my year in pixels, and thank you, Carolyn, for that, because it really has changed my life a lot. And I do the same thing with my depression. I do the same thing with anxiety. And then I actually have it to where I'm actually keeping up with, just specific details about why I felt a certain way monthly. And so November will be here. I also loved the LaCroix. It was so cool. And so I just added my own little sugar-free gum here because it's like completely about sugar-free life for me now. I don't have sugar in my diet. Although when I hit my weight loss goal of 50 pounds, I did celebrate with pizza, a cheeseburger, and nachos. Not all at the same time, within like 2 days of each other. And then I'm getting right back on it today. Or, excuse me, not today, but tomorrow, which is Monday. So, just wanted to let you guys know that I am not losing track of that. I am going to keep that up 100%. So, morning routine, I've been keeping track of that here as well. Something I've been wanting to do for a while. Same thing with my evening routine, which I need to actually mark because today's the 16th. And I did keep up with it these 2 days. I just haven't been able to write it here. Same thing for here, menstrual cycle. I don't want it in there anymore. I want it in here. Showering. I don't know why I'm keeping track of my showering. I think it's important because sometimes when I get depressed, I don't want to shower every single day and it bothers me. I mean, though I didn't here because I didn't go anywhere or do anything, so I felt there was no need. So my water intake, super important, I've learned, because, okay, so here's my exercise tracker also. My diet and food tracker, kept up with it, awesome, except for those last 2 days because, I was, having some things going on. And then here's a bowel movement tracker because I learned with the diet that I'm on right now, it causes constipation, and I needed to keep track of that so I can learn to take specific, let's see, it's a dieter's tea, and it flushes you out, so it's a detox tea really, and it really just cleans you out, and I need to remember when to take it, and I hate the taste of it, which is why I need to remember, or I need to see how my bowels are doing so that I can just take it when I know it's absolutely necessary, because I hate the taste of it. But I noticed I was also getting migraines, and I started keeping track of that as well. And I realized it was because of my water intake. When my water dipped and I drank only like maybe 1 or 2 cups a day, I started getting migraines. See, up here the same thing. It was very interesting for me to go through and see all this data and be like, oh my gosh, these are related. And so I love you so much, Carolyn, for that, because it's really given me like a new way of looking at myself, and it's really made me pay attention to myself a lot more. So thank you for whoever designed that idea. So this is my Learn It section after all of my tracking. I do plan to add a few more things in, like I do want to add a more detailed exercise tracker, kind of like the one I had in my KKK. But this is my Learn It section. This section is specifically designed for me to learn new things. I am a strict learner, you guys know, because I have my giant notebook, my academic notebook, where I actually keep track of all the things I learn in history, the things I learn in math, physics, science, and, just all the subjects that you can think of. I have a notebook for it. It's in my videos if you want to look at that, but this is just a list that I saw from a YouTuber, and she had these life skills, and I was like, I need this for myself and for my children, so I'm going to make a copy of this 3 times so that my children also have one, because it's about teaching them and myself all the basics of human existence in this day and age, in this world. Public transportation, how to pack things, how to follow traffic symbols and lights and stuff, cooking basic meals, just stuff like that. And so this next part is my language study section, because again, I told you guys I'm learning Korean, but I'm also learning many other, 6 other languages, and I have this happy planner for that. Oh, upside down. This happy planner is helping me to do that. So I'm learning Spanish, Japanese, German, Swahili. I'm learning Arabic and Chinese, but I'm also learning Korean. The Korean is in here because I'd have to have another section in order to fit it in here. And I don't want to add another section right now. So I'm just doing everything else is in here. All the other languages are in here. So, yeah. So. Hajimemashite. Okay, and I've said nice to meet you in Korean and now Japanese, so it's just FYI. So don't get mad at me and be like, what did she say? Okay, so this is my Korean section, and I really love it because, I'm just kind of slowly but surely learning Korean, and it's really fun for me. I love learning new languages. As you guys can see, that's kind of my main squeeze. I love this planner for that reason, even though I had been learning Japanese for quite a while before that. And, this is that's what this is for. So I have various pages on different Korean. And that's my Learn It section. And then I have another chunky laminate with a Target dollar spot pocket. And this is my social media section. This section I just created because I realized I haven't been making YouTube videos the way I want to, and I feel like this is going to help me start. So this is pretty much what this video is now. I'm not really good at, you know, writing out the video I'm about to start doing, but I'm trying to get better at that now. And so that's what this is for. It just has the same pages quite a few times. So this is my next section, my kids section. I love it because it helps me to keep track of my kids' lives. And a lot of this was from Carrie. These are their, obviously, their insurance cards, and then I have their school schedule. It says they're still doing remote learning. Remote learning is, yes, a drag. I can't stand it. It's annoying. But I will not let my babies go back to school because we're about to go into another second wave. And people are... I know that a lot of parents have to get their kids to school because they absolutely need to get back to work, but I'm sorry, I can't do that with my babies. They're special. And this is my Miles, and he has a section. If you guys have watched Carrie's videos on her kids sections, it's pretty much the exact same thing. I have a school schedule, and then I think the only thing that's different is I have this calendar section that breaks up, that, you know, kind of helps me to track things that are going on about 6 months in their lives. I have a doctor's visit spread, and then I just have a how am I doing page where I can write like a line a day for each of them. And then of course I have a mood tracker for each of them and a health tracker. They're all doing very well so far. And then there's my Ryan. Carrie has a Ryan too, which I think is just awesome. It's like, oh my gosh, she has a Ryan. That's so cool. And then there's Ryan's section for his school schedule. There's his 6 months calendar. Same thing, doctor's visits. How am I doing? Line a day, mood tracker, health tracker. He had a sniffly nose. The other day I freaked out. Thought he was going to get the corona, and, you know, had him, you know, kind of locked down. But then the next day he was fine. I realized it was allergies, so don't jump the gun. And then, okay, so for my daughter, and she had a sniffly nose too. Is that her section? Oh my gosh, I wrote her stuff in his. Okay, no, I put this in her section. I put this in his section because he doesn't do Dreambox, and this is purple. So let me put this where it belongs. Okay, this is her section. Same thing. This is just my little princess. And she's got the same things as him. Line of day, mood. Yeah, because she didn't have a sniffly nose. That was Ryan. He had some allergies. And he always has allergies. He actually takes medicine for it. Okay, so she has a different thing for school than they do. She has to do, and it's the two programs are online for her, but I like having it here because I like to be able to see that she's doing those programs because she's supposed to be doing 15 minutes each day of those. And this is a section I created for my new puppy that we're going to be getting, and I don't know what having a puppy really entails because this will be my first dog. So I just kind of put a calendar section for them and an extra sheet of paper so that I could try to keep track of that. But that was that. And this is my home section. So I have a cleaning section, and I'm going to start keeping track of. I have a yearly, quarterly, and monthly section that I haven't gotten right in everything yet, and a bi-weekly section. You guys know that I'm very, very specific about that kind of stuff, so I want to keep that in here, but I haven't finished writing it out. When I do, I will definitely update you on that. And then I also have a weekly and daily cleaning tracker so that I can keep up with all of these things that I try to do. And then this is going to be the tracker for when I do the other stuff, the quarterly, biannually, yearly, and, you know, past that. So that's just graph paper, regular old graph paper. Me and my babies, me and my giant self. This was like a year ago, so I look different than that now. I'm not that big. So you guys will see that soon. I mean, if you see my Instagram, you've seen I've quite slimmed down. I've quite slimmed down. So just so you can see, I don't know if you can even tell what that is because it's blurry. Let me see if I can. There we go. I'm all super chunkified. I look so much better than that now. Oh my gosh, looking back. Don't you hate it when you look at your fat pictures? You're just like, ugh, burn them all. Burn it all. Okay, so the next thing I have is a meal section where I'm keeping track of favorite breakfasts, favorite lunches, favorite dinners, because my autistic kids are super picky, and if left up to them, they would eat chicken nuggets, pizza, and cereal for the rest of their lives, much like other kids. So this is my car section, and I'm going to start keeping track of oil changes and various car maintenance that happens. Look at my hot rod. My car is silver and it does not look like this. It is a Ford. Okay, and this is my budget section. This is from the Recollections planner kits that they have at Michael's. And I don't really care too much if you see, but yeah. So that's my budget. I went way over budget this month, and I'm not proud of myself for that. But this is a no spin tracker, and I'm really fond of it because it's helping me to kind of say, you know what, I need to just not spend anything. And then I have a few more months in here, and that is my home section. So finally we get to my actual calendar section, because on Wednesdays we wear pink. I love that so much. Mean Girls. Not so much the Mean Girls, but, you know, the idea behind the concept of Mean Girls. You know, they stick together and they're just mean together. Okay, so this is my #quarantine life section. I love the fact that Caroline had a ideal days page and a daily planning checklist. The daily planning checklist is super helpful for me because there's a lot of stuff in here that I'll forget to do. Even though I like flipping through this planner, I don't always, you know, go to each section when I need to or when I should, and it kind of keeps me on track. And I saw this in her planner too. I was like, oh, it's so pretty. And yeah, I just made one of those, and you know, on Wednesdays we wear pink, and you can't plan with us. Hilarious. So I just made a 2020 dashboard. 2020 is almost over. I always go to Michael's. That's awesome for me. I set my 2020 goals, but those goals did not get accomplished because of the pandemic. But this life is the best life. Living my life the way it's supposed to be. Love it. So moving on. I got the black rabbit here because he's not white, but you know, in real life he is white, but here he's black because of the black and pink thing that's going on there. So, World's Best Momish, trying to do that. That's what's going on here. And this is kind of the same method from Shine and Sticker Studio. Hi. Nana, isn't it bedtime? Yes, can you put your cards away and we will play in the morning, okay?
Okay, Mommy. Look, see? This is my fancy.
Yes, I see. You're fancy.
Do you want a picture?
I'm not taking pictures. I'm doing a video, honey. Bye-bye. I love you. Okay, good night. She always gets up. She always gets up. She always gets up. Okay, give me a second. Need some water. That's not water. It kind of is. #sugar-free. Anyway, so this quarter, I've got fall leaves because it's pumpkin spice season. It's fall. I love it. And I wrote down my weight at the beginning of this day in diet culture today. In diet culture. It's so lame. No one likes dieting. But I guess it's for the best. So anyway, so yeah, I just printed this on some vellum, and here's my autumn goals and bucket list for this autumn. I'm gonna try to do these things. We're gonna roast s'mores. I didn't get to eat s'mores. I'm so sad. I'm gonna try to get through this diet before the end of this quarter and try to lose the rest of my 60 pounds and yeah, be happy so I can eat a dang s'more. I want a dang s'more. Okay, so this is my bucket list. These are the things that I need to accomplish this quarter. Before this quarter is over, I'm going to do those things, and I'm going to try to break them down into the months, even though we're halfway through October already, which is scary how fast that went. Okay, so I printed this out on vellum, and, you know, these cute little doodads, these cute little die cuts, some more chunky glitter. Gotta love your copy, and let's see. So this, I loved this spread. The idea of the spread was amazing, and I saw it on Carolyn, and so I made my own, as you can see, because it is definitely not Annie Plans, but I really love them because they are very helpful. I think she said they were the most helpful spread she had recently, and that applies for me as well because these have been super helpful. And I just wrote, you know, this is my day on a page, or my month on a page, and I have various lists and stuff that I write here, and then I'm going to do a summary here. And this came with these inserts came with the planner, so this was a kind of a monthly view, or, you know, a kind of a summary of what was supposed to happen. And this is a, you know, just a dashboard, because good vibes are always welcome and always fanned out everywhere. Okay, so yeah, this is my monthly to month at a glance monthly on 2 pages is what I'm trying to say. No junk food, been doing that except for today and yesterday. And it's been just really, really nice to use my my pink and black Alice in Wonderland for October. It's been fun. I love the design, and I love this. This is so cool. I started this in September, and I have the inserts there elsewhere, and I took them out because they were bulking up my planner, and my planner kept just pooping open, and it was driving me crazy. So I had to take those out, but it pretty much looks like this except for like the first couple of weeks of September, because I didn't know what to do, and I had printed out these little schedules for my kids' school stuff, and I was checking it off, but it really bothered me, and I'll probably show you that in another planner video. But then after, like, there was half of the week where I just decided, you know what, I'm going to do what I want, and it blossomed into this beautiful mess, and I have not looked back since. I love it. I love it, love it, love it. Next week, this is what next week looks like. And I'm doing Sailor Moon. I love Sailor Moon. And so that's pretty much what's going on here. And this is just my dashboard. That's this next week, because next week is almost here. So it's going to be this week. This is Monday, which is tomorrow. And then next week is here. I know you're going to say, like, enough with the next, Nina. Okay, so I also have dailies. I love the dailies as well because the dailies have kept me on track. And I created these, and I started with these, and they were working really good. But then there were days that I was like, I'm not filling that out. I'm not filling that out. I don't feel like filling that out. I don't barely want to fill that out. And so I made some more. As I was searching through YouTube, and I was like, I need a spread where I can be simple if I want to. And that's what these ended up being. I love them. I can keep track of my kids. I can make notes. I can see my whole day. I can make personal focuses and know what kind of day it was, as well as make a to-do list. That's all I need sometimes. As you can see, that's all I need a lot of times. And so that's pretty much what I've been using. I'm so happy with it. And I even added some diary pages in here. I love it. And I can use these whenever I'm going to have a really, really busy day. And it's just been working so well for me. I'm never leaving this planner. I love it so much. And then I have this flap out dashboard that's just helping me keep track of where I am with my dailies. And I'm just loving it, y'all. I'm loving this so much. Okay, so here, these are where I use these sticky notes. I have one for each day of the week. When I don't quite, anything that's repetitive, like Self-Care Saturday, I put it there. So when I get to that day of the week, because sometimes I don't use my dailies, and I'll just skip and skip and skip, and then I'll be like, oh, it's Wednesday. What do I usually do on Wednesday? Bam, it's right here. I can just go be like, okay, school starts at 7:40, and then, Bible study. I have Bible study that I need to do with the kids, and then we need to do family study because we have our meeting the next day, on Thursday. And that's on there as well, and I love it. I love these see-through sticky notes. They're amazing. They're so amazing, you guys. I love them. I don't know how I lived without them. And yeah, I love them so much, and they're here now. And so after that, I just have a whole bunch of other pages that are very similar. And espera, I tenía algo para esto. It's like, oh, wait, I had something for this. Okay, so this is next month, November. My baby turns 7. And my registration expires. So that's something that I've been doing also. Every time I get mail, I put that mail on a clipboard. These are my clipboards. This is my sticky note clipboard. Love the sticky note clipboard. And then this, hold on, let me just go ahead and do that and that. This clipboard, I put all my mail on here. There's a safety recall on my car. I have a Ford. And so I need to make sure that I do that. And then I have to renew my registration, which is why this is here, to let me know I need to do that. And I had to pay money for it. So I put it on my clipboard. It's in my inbox. And I put that there so that when I look at my inbox, I can be like, oh, okay, I need to renew my registration because I was told so. It came in the mail. See, I drew a little envelope right there so I know that it's mail, and I know that it's on that clipboard. So when it comes time for me to look for the website to do, to send my you know, the thing that you get so that you can make sure your car passes the state inspection. So when I get my state inspection, I know where the paper is to send the website's information to. So I love this, you guys. I'm so happy. I've really met my planner, please. I can't talk right now. I really found my planner piece. That's all I'm trying to say. Planner piece. And here's next year. I created a year at a glance, 2021 to 2022. And, oh, don't do this to me. Don't get all bendy on me. But I love it. So awesome, you guys. Our camping trip, hopefully we get to take it this year. That'll be nice. But yeah, that's pretty much it. It's just calendar after calendar after calendar, and it'll go all the way to March. So if I have anything that I need to plan out in March, I can do it. And that's just the end. I don't have anything in this back pocket. Got another LaCroix here. Look at this pen. This pen is amazing. I found it at this awesome accessory store called Mrs. So cute, right? And it matches my planner perfectly. So that is it, you guys. I am done showing you my planner. I'm done with this big old book that does close, surprisingly. I love this thing. She is super chunky. Super chunky, super chunky. And that's it, y'all. I don't have anything else to say to y'all. It has been 50 minutes of craziness. So I'm going to let you guys go. I love you. I will show you more. If you guys want to see more, I can show you an updated version of my wallet if you want. Let me know in the comments below, and we will talk. Oh, I can also show you my other planner. This is Jillian. She is my teaching planner, and this is how I keep track of my kids' god-awful schooling. Away from school, obviously. And then I also have, I'm pretty sure that I named her. I don't remember what I named her. Oh my gosh, I'll figure it out eventually. But this is my ministry planner. This is my biblical stuff. So I will see you guys next time. I love you to death. 50 minutes is too long. Love you, love you. I'll talk to you soon. Bye. Stay meticulous.